Hello fellow traders, this is Paul Lim. I wanted to do a video here before Monday, just my take on the cycles based on the big shakeout we had coming off of the tariff news. But first, before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Helps us to reach more traders like you and keeps you updated on our latest trading tips. And I think you'd have a challenge going back in the last 10 years and finding a bar that ugly. I mean, it's not a lot of them. During COVID, you had a pretty nasty bar coming off the high there. Let's look at that initial shakeout bar from the prior day close. Went down about almost 13%. And over here, today's action around 8%. Pretty ugly. Now, you're just getting below the prior support. And just like in COVID, what you had here was basically this is a weekly chart. You had 1 week inside of that. So, is tariffs as bad as COVID as far as effect on the economy? Some traders may think. You just have to be aware of the possibility and don't get back in too soon. Now, what could very well happen is that we get this real harsh flush, shake out the weak traders, and, I'd hate to think that what happened during COVID would happen here. Let's just look at the highs on the pullback. More than likely, you're going to get some decent news on some aspect of the tariffs by Monday or Tuesday that might keep that next week's bar inside of this here. But, at the highs that you got back into that COVID bar, that was about 2/3 up the bar. There was about a 23% dump from there. 30% dump, 29% dump from the 2/3 retrace into the bar. If we had that, if we get some news at the beginning of the week that pushed it back up, traders thinking that things are going to turn around. If in fact we did the same thing, let's just say we did a 20% dump because we didn't go down 12% or so, but 20% dump could take us down to 32,000. At that support right there. This shakeout here in 2020 actually violated the lows of about a 2.5 year period right there. Now 2.5 year period here, pretty close to that. That would again take it down to about the 32,000 mark. But if we had a 25% dump from, let's see right here, 29% dump from the pull back into the bar, that could be all the way down to 28,000. It's anything can happen when you get emotional selling, especially when you have negative news without, what's the end game with the terrorists and not a lot of clarity about that. Where are the buyers stepping in? And when you don't have buyers stepping in, obviously you can have the potential for the air pocket gap down like you had over in 2020. So now the good thing about this was basically a 4-week flush and then back up. Now the cycles off that big COVID shakeout were two key cycles: a TD9, it's a 50-day cycle, and a TM1. Actually, that's a TM2, 3.5 cycle. And 3.5 plus on that. And so even when you broke out of that, you got 4 months, 3.5, 4 months of sideways. So you had basically out of the TD9, you had 4 months sideways, pop another 4 months. So as I posted in Twitter today, this may take a year or more to work out the technical damage. This is just a harsh shakeout, 45 down to 38, and based on cycles, you're generally going to get two good cycle lines going out 3.5 and 5 to 7 before you get a recovery. It's usually you're not usually going to get a V-shaped recovery after this much technical damage down through that. So even over here, you had this, pullback of about 20%. That took a couple years to work out. The overhead supply 1.5. Yeah, it's 1.5 plus year cycle. And so, again, maybe the best thing to do is just pull the scab and get a real harsh shakeout for 3 or 4 weeks, and then head back up. May take a while, but it's going to take a while anyways with all this overhead supply and the harsh technical damage. Unless there's some great news on the tariff front where you get a big green, thick green bar, and then maybe test into it the next few weeks beyond that. But more than likely, this is going to scare people for a few weeks at least. So just be aware of that. Even if we get a pullback into the bar with some positive news on tariffs this coming week, be aware they can dump to that 3 or 4 weeks. A key cycle on breakouts is the number 4, whether you're on a daily time frame, weekly time frame, monthly, etc. So you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 bottomed it. Let's see if we can find another harsh shakeout here. So over here, 1, 2, 3. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not very harsh right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your bounces, and then pretty much chopped around before you get the next wave down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, good chance that we're only 1 week into it. Good chance, at least the violation of that support. This was just basically a PBC zone, post-breakout consolidation zone. So, again, if we get an inside week, I'd be really cautious. In fact, if you like trading the short side, you might want to consider if we can get back into 2/3, 3/4 of that bar, possibly buy some puts going out 3 or 4 weeks on that. But anything can happen. This is just a tough market environment to trade in, and this is a good time to be minimum 75% in cash unless you're a skilled short-term trader. So be very cautious, and just know that we're going to have an interesting several months ahead trying to decide where support is, and good chance that support is not going to be where we like it. It's going to take some work to get out of the consolidation zone. So it's just part of the byproduct of a huge federal debt, trying to unwind that debt with Doge, etc. I believe there's like $9.5 trillion of debt we need to refinance this year, and this may actually be a added benefit of the market going down. Traders move over to bonds go down in price, interest rates go down, less money to refinance our debt. So there's some positives in this despite that. So we also got a psychological zone right here, 35,000. If we get a harsh move down through this prior support, I would not be surprised to see it blow through 35 and head down to that 32,000 area. So be cautious. It's not the best time to be trading heavy. So anyways, have a great trading week. I'll be checking in during the week next week with some of the T-Mang stocks, etc. If you're interested in our trading style and want to join the club or get one-on-one coaching, head over to cycletradingtraining.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.